what I do very early on, or the first week, is I ask them to post an introduction in the open discussion board. I ask them to introduce themselves, the university they're from, what they're studying, and if they've done any online learning. And then if they have anything humorous they want to put in about themselves, that's always a good start. The other thing is I ask them to respond to other people's discussion boards. So I have discussion board questions posted as part of the content, but and they can respond to that question. But if the question's already been answered, I ask them to post something broader than that, or to comment on the something general within the material that was taking place, so that the first student that posts isn't the only one who's going to get the marks for the discussion board, because that becomes an issue if I'm asking direct questions. So I make it very clear early on to post whatever they're feeling, understanding from the content, not understanding from the content, so that everybody has a chance to participate. And I think that also gives us that sense of community, so that we can, converse like we would if we were in a classroom.
Fostering a sense of community in online happens largely through discussions. Students rate them really highly, which surprises me, because I'm not doing the work, so I figure, maybe that's arrogant, I'm not sure, but I'm figuring I'm not doing the work, so that's going to be rated really, really low. But surprisingly, online discussions provide students with that sense of community, sense of learning from one another, almost as much as, or sometimes more than, class discussions. I've noticed in class, sometimes you have students who will rarely speak up. Maybe it's students that have English as a second language or an additional language. Maybe it's students who need to think a lot longer than others before they speak, so you'll get a couple students who are dominant speakers in class. Online, that doesn't happen as much, and it's because students have a chance to think about what they want to say. They can type it up in Word, edit it, be confident, and then post. So I find that it's much more even, and I find that the discussions are a lot richer.
Sharing visuals of each other. I find that it can become impersonal. I mean, you're working through a medium, and if you don't have visuals of all the students in the classroom and really encourage people to contribute those, then, well, it really helps if you do. They're just aware of what that person looks like. And it's really funny. Encourage people to send vacation pictures or baby pictures along with other pictures. Just things where you start to get a multi-dimensional view of that person. But also rituals. I think doing things in an expected way. That people get comfortable in those environments. And I think that's true in a classroom. I think it's true in an online classroom. So people come to expect that cadence of a class where they see a video, work on some discussion questions, meet with the group to unpack some stuff, have some activities in there. And if that becomes a regular expectation of the classroom, then it works pretty nicely. Now that depends on the classroom.
To establish and maintain a sense of community in my online courses is to communicate, first of all, to communicate that up front, that's a value of mine and one that I've integrated into my own teaching philosophy. And so students understand that there are expectations in terms of being an active and engaged participant in the online environment. So there isn't an opportunity to sit back and not participate and not engage with the weekly discussions, for example. It's important that the various activities are geared toward encouraging that online community. So a minor example would be I have students do personal introductions at the very beginning of the course, so we have a sense of getting to know each other and who we are as people as well as peers. I have activities where students will participate in small group dyad, triads for various exercises, and then of course the larger group, the asynchronous discussion area, where we all participate on a regular basis, weekly, to propel the understanding and the discussion further and deeper. Even the assignments and the assessment strategies that I use have some element of community embedded in the sense that we all share with each other our individual work. And I should just add that there are opportunities for students to work individually, for them to shine in that sense and practice some of those intellectual skills that only individually perhaps you can experience. So I try to have a wide variety of experiences designed into the course, and it's been successful.